WIKISPEED, 100 miles per gallon of awesome. In this video, we're going to show you the new chassis design that incorporates doors into our cars. At WIKISPEED, we build cars that are light, safe, fuel efficient, beautiful, and fun to drive. This is our convertible model that's currently being developed in our Germantown, Maryland facility. You'll notice that this design has doors. Well, our current chassis design does not have doors. Yet. So we're about to change that. You'll notice in our current chassis there's a space between our front and rear tires where we can have something that sticks out, such as a door structure. Our vehicles now use this area for side trunk storage, but we can repurpose this space to meet more important engineering, comfort, and safety goals. Another consideration in this design change is maintaining the modularity of our cars. Modularity is a core design principle of our engineering philosophy. When we make a change to one part of the car, we want the impacts of the rest of the vehicle to be as minimal as possible so that systems remain interchangeable. This is our current chassis. It's the lightest, strongest, and safest chassis that's ever been built for a road-legal passenger car. And we're quite proud of it, but it does have a few things we'd like to change about it. It's a little bit narrow for the driver and passenger. We'd love to further increase our side impact crash resistance, and it doesn't have doors. Fortunately, we've come up with a new design that accomplishes all three of these goals at once. This really just takes our current chassis and modifies it. You can see here the current chassis is white and the parts in gray are the new additions needed for the wide body chassis. We cut the top rails to make a hole for each door. Then we've added posts to fill the gap created by our cuts. We then reinforced that even further by welding another taller post to the outside. Then we weld another 4-inch beam along the entire bottom of the opening to reinforce the chassis even more. We can see it from this side as well. What this design does is build two really stout structural columns in the middle of each side of the car. It also connects them with this additional beam at the bottom and really greatly increases the strength, rigidity, and stiffness of the entire car. It also extends and protrudes out of the passenger area, creating a very effective crush zone. When you add the thickness of the 4-inch beams in the door, then that crush zone is even thicker and more protective. This version of the door has 45-degree beveled corners. It gives a greater strength and aesthetic appeal. It also creates a solid surface along the front edge of the door where the hinge is attached to the chassis. But this construction method is a little bit more complex to manufacture in this way and takes a little bit more material. The other option is for the door to have two straight beams that are connected by square posts. This is a little bit simpler design and we can still weld on the hinges for the door. It's just not quite as sleek of a design. Either of these door options will work with this chassis design though. You'll also notice the doors are shorter than the chassis. This is so they can open past the bottom sill and air intake of the convertible body. This view of the car shows how we've increased the width of the interior space by 16 inches, 8 inches on each side. This gives us quite a bit more room to put larger seats in the vehicle and increases the shoulder room for both the driver and front passengers significantly. The door can have a fairly simple latch mechanism. This is just a mock-up of a gate-style latch. Of course, the actual production latch will need to be more complex and incorporate a handle as well, but this shows the principle behind how the latch can be engineered. One of the best things about this design is that it can be retrofitted onto existing WIKISPEED chassis, enabling all of our current vehicles to have the doors as well. This reinforces our core principle of maintaining modularity and compatibility whenever we can. This new design takes more materials to produce, so let's look at the difference between the current chassis and the new wide-body version. This view shows the materials to produce each chassis. On the left, we can see that to construct our current chassis it takes 3 20-foot lengths of 4x4-inch aluminum beams. On the right side, we can see the new wide-body chassis takes 4 1/4 lengths of 20-foot aluminum beams, or 41% more material. Each of these views also shows the cuts needed to produce each chassis, with the new chassis requiring twice as many cuts. The new design also takes 3 times as many welds to produce, which increases manufacturing time. The benefits achieved by this new design far outweigh all the costs involved though. This new design incorporates 3 significant advantages over our current chassis. 1. It gives passengers more interior room. 2. It greatly increases the stiffness and side impact resistance of the car. And 3. For the first time, WIKISPEED cars have doors. Amazingly, all these benefits can be realized with an increase in weight of only 53 pounds. That's a feat that's never been accomplished in the commercial auto industry before. Thanks for your time, and we hope you like this new design. We'd love to have your feedback, so add any comments below this video. WIKISPEED, building the cars of the future, today.